Alright, in this next video, we're going to go over means. Um, First off, what is a mean? Mean is a measurement of center of a data set. It has a particular formula. The mean equals the sum of the data over the amount of data. A couple things to always remember about mean. Always verify the amount of data. Double check to see how much data you actually have. Whenever you see the word average, average implies mean. So oftentimes out in the real world and in some math problems, they'll ask you to find average. What they mean is, find out what the mean is. Be careful with frequency tables. Those can mislead you about what the data points are. And mean can be a decimal even if the data are of counts. So it can be meaningful for us to figure out or to give us an idea about what the mean is, even though you might not be able to have a fraction of a person or a fraction of a book or something like that. So just be mindful of it. Let's take a look at this next one. How do we compute mean? So we have left is a table of the last 7 days of sales at Old Man Yup's Noodle Shop. What's his average amount of sales? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of sales. All right, to figure out that average, then all we're going to do is we're going to add up this amount and divide it by 7 then. So I'm going to take out my calculator. Turns out the sum is 3,746. And we're going to divide that by 7. And we figure out his last 7 days, average last 7 days of sales. All right, so for this example, we have to be careful. This is that frequency table that we need to be mindful of. So this table tells us that there are 2 plants with 0 squash, 4 plants with 1 squash, 1 plant with 2 squash, 5 plants with 3 squash, and 4 plants with 5 squash. So what is the average amount of squash on a plant? So if we were to write out our full data set here, we actually have 2 zeros, 4 ones, a 2, 3 fives, and 4 5. Now if I add those all up, all right, we end up with a sum of 41. And there are a total of 16 data points. So our mean is, we'll go to 2 decimal places, 2.56. Now, how do you find a missing data point? Occasionally you'll encounter problems like this. Generally, what you'll see in these problems, they'll give you what the mean is. And then you need to set up the mean formula to figure out that missing data point. So let's take a look at this example. To retain their job, an assembly worker must have an average of 30 control boards assembled. Monday through Thursday, Diana had completed 34, 23, 28, 20 boards respectively. At least how many boards must she complete Friday to stay employed? So we know that the average has to be 30. Now, we know that the first 4 days were 34, 23, 28, and 20, and then we have to add in that 5th day. There are a total of 5 data points. So if we solve this equation, now we're going to get what Diane needs Friday to stay employed. So Diana needs to complete 45 control boards in order to achieve the average of 30. And that's our video here on means.